I have been thinking a lot. I know that you're a huge fan of the Apple Vision Pro, and I like it and I enjoy it. One of the things that has, no, I'm glad it's right there. Apple hasn't sold that many of them. About 70 to 80% of the world is covered in water. Wouldn't they sell a lot more if the Apple Vision Pro was waterproof?
Well, there's two problems with the question. One is that even though the world is very much covered in water, that's not where people
Hmm.
are.
Well, you have a
Um,
sailboat.
yeah, very few of us do actually bother to go out there, which is not a human-friendly place. Um, so most people are on land. I think the reason you want to be waterproof, though, is because you're going to be covered in rain. So when these came out, these are the AirPods. When the AirPods came out, and I was one of the first to have a pair, I remember being
Mm,
asked the question, how is it in the rain? Because people were
mm,
actually afraid it wasn't going to work well in the rain. And I remember taking them
yeah.
for a run. Well, it was like, this was in San Francisco. I remember it well. First time
Okay.
out running with them, and it began to, drizzle a little bit, how it is. San Francisco
Yeah.
doesn't rain as much, but it does drizzle. And I was running with them, and it was fine. And I reported back on Twitter. It's like, they work fine in the rain. So, yeah, the outdoor is the more important question. Whether the Vision Pro should be worn outside, which is not what it's designed to do right now. Also, the
Yeah.
phone, by the way, don't forget the iPhone took a while to become water resistant to the point where now people are comfortable with it. Although still people freak out if it ever gets wet, but it's actually very capable of taking water. So, just another personal anecdote. I actually dropped this in a lake while I was on a sailboat. Fortunately, it was fairly shallow, and I jumped in,
Mm,
felt around in the mud with my
hmm.
bare feet,
Yeah.
found it, and fished it out.
But if you had your Apple Vision Pro on, you could use Find My and it would point you so you wouldn't have to dig through the mud. You would know exactly where to go. This
Fine line
is,
doesn't work through water. Sorry, no. So
well,
so
then
the
they got to
the
fix that
Vision
too.
Pro needs to first go outside, and then it can get wet.
But wouldn't it be easier to function underwater because there's less light?
Yeah, but again, an underwater Vision Pro. Do you know this? It's kind of interesting because if it ever gets small enough so that it's actually, imagine, I'm going to go science fiction on you a bit.
Okay.
Already we're thinking the glasses. I may have some sunglasses as a prop here. Okay, these are my sunglasses. Now imagine these are
Hmm.
going to be a future version of Vision Pro. Now,
Yeah.
people talk about, of course, because Facebook's done this, Meta has put cameras in this.
Yeah.
I think they're not the first either. So the
No.
point is, if you put cameras on here and then you make the lenses somewhat like screens,
Hmm.
then it makes sense for this becoming the future Vision Pro. Big difference, but they could theoretically do the job. Now let me take it a step further. What
Okay.
if, what if they're actually contact lenses? Now the contact could have in it circuits that
Hmm.
actually give you information right into your retina
Hmm.
somehow.
Sure.
It would be, it is in the realm of science fiction today, but it is not impossible. And then it's not a matter, is it waterproof or not? Because you're going to be in water anyway. And then you wear your scuba mask on top of your contacts, or you're very,
Hmm.
or you build these into the scuba mask, and then you have your answer. You go
But your Apple
underwater.
Vision Pro is already a scuba mask.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a seal that protects against the water pressure. Water pressure, it's very strong. I don't know if have you ever gone diving, scuba diving or snorkeling?
I'm afraid of boats.
What about water? You could do it from shore.
Oh, I haven't tried it.
I haven't tried it. Not even snorkeling.
I've done a little bit of snorkeling. Yeah.
Well,
But wouldn't it be great? Think about this. You could identify all of the fish you see
yes,
right
yes. Actually,
right
it's a
in
big
the
job. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I actually am a certified diver. I have
Okay.
gone diving in multiple locations around the world.
Okay.
Um, and I've done it to actually practically. This is the most practical thing about it. There's nothing practical about diving, but for me, it was practical because I went under my own boat and fixed it
Hmm.
while at
Yeah.
sea. I had a propeller issue. I could get into it
Okay.
if you want, but so I'm aware of the issues related to getting in the water and with equipment, and it's a hostile environment. By the way, while we're on that topic, this
Yeah.
works very well underwater. So much so that there's a diver use case for it. It will be acting as your dive computer, and it turns automatically because it detects it's underwater, it detects water pressure, and it'll give you that information. So
Hmm.
divers use this, the Apple Watch, very much, and it's a killer app actually for divers. So Apple's done stuff underwater. It's
So then why can't they do this?
I think they will eventually, but like I said, it's probably going to be 15 years out because at first it has to go outside, then it has to be waterproof, then it has to be integrated into a dive mask. It's just a
Okay.
matter of time.
All right. We've got some other questions for you.
Shoot.